It's that time of the week again where we come back with the Superstars B Show and SmackDown, and not just any SmackDown Superstars. This is the post Wrestlemania SmackDown and Superstars. So let's just jump right into the Superstars and see what happens. Alright, we got a dark show match, which actually features someone who hasn't really been on the Save a lot, and that's Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash defeats Sylvain Grenier, I believe that's how you said it back in the day, in 5 minutes with the jackknife powerbomb. They don't click at all. Did that affect Kevin's? Was penalized for declining physical ability, a low experience, worker chemistry. We'll have to see how Kevin Nash does. I just wanted to get Kevin Nash on the card, see how it was doing. Yeah, he gets a straight up beat dark match win. And we cap off, we have a WrestleMania recap video talking about the main title matches. CM Punk defending against The Rock and then losing to CM Punk, Kofi Kingston. I'm an idiot today. And then Dolph Ziggler and Christian, with Christian retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. Cut into a match here. And about that had decent wrestling, but not much heat. The Shield defeat Justin Gabriel and the Dragon Aces when Dean Ambrose hits a Dirty Deeds on Tanahashi. And we have, some good, pretty decent performances. Roman Reigns, 63. Any improvements? Dean's improving a lot. I had Dean pick up the pinfall here. I probably would have had it not been on Tanahashi, but what can you do? Tanahashi carrying with a 71. But yeah, no, trying to get the Shield over. Just trying to get the Shield over. Pretty much the only one that needs to get over is Dean. He's a lower mid-carder, while Roman and Seth are mid-carders. So once we get that, we can start actually using them pretty more frequently. And we have Drew McIntyre's walking down the halls. Last time, technically this comes out before SmackDown, but Drew McIntyre he's really mad. He's been kicked out of the United Kingdom. He's just in a sour mood, and he turns his head and he cocks an eyebrow as he sees the Second City Selfies. I changed their name. I believe they were Windy City. But we have Colt Cabana and Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze just taking a bunch of photos. And I like to mention Colt Cabana. I love Colt Cabana. He's great. He's just my favorite thing in wrestling. I imagine he's singing Drew McIntyre's awesome theme song back in the day, The Broken Dreams. What's that metronome I hear? I can't sing. But then Drew McIntyre's just like, well, that's happening, and then just walks past. So a funny little segment I thought would be on Superstars. And I'm trying to get them over. But we won't talk about that. We then get a promo by The Miz, who seems somewhat angry about the fact that Randy Orton RKO'd him into his own cake on Raw. And he says, Randy, I'm going to get my... He pretty much says all your generic things. He's going to get revenge. Watch your back, Randy. I'm going to show you why I belong in the main event and not you. All your basic fare. And then we have a poor match, but not too bad I don't know, honestly. I don't think that's too bad of a match. AJ Lee defeats Maxine in a pretty decent match. The new Divas Championship, also renamed the Unified Divas to Divas, since, I believe it was named that by this point anyway. But AJ Lee picking up the win over Maxine with the Shining Wizard. Good for her. No promo or anything, but just, we do have a promo actually. Just a generic promo with Kofi Kingston. I wanted to see how good Kofi could do, and Kofi Kingston can talk. That's definitely for sure. Kofi Kingston, he has the belt, and he says, a lot of people wanted me to win this, but people just didn't think I was ready for it. People didn't think that I could handle it. People think I wasn't ready. But clearly I am. And I'm going to prove to the world that I belong in WWE's main event once I beat CM Punk at Extreme Rules 3 weeks from now. So pretty passionate speech by Kofi Kingston. And we will have our main event. In our main event, we have Alberto Del Rio taking on the NXT champion, Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods puts one hell of a fight, but he's no match for a main eventer like Del Rio when he hits him with a step-up enziguri. Thought I'd get Xavier Woods on the card. Obviously he's not going to defend the title. Alberto's too big a star for a title like the NXT title. But yeah, pretty decent main event here. We'll end the show now. Let's see what we did. 88B, no specific comments as usual. It's a B show. And let's get into the main event. Let's get into SmackDown right now. Alright, so we begin the first SmackDown after WrestleMania 29. And we open with SmackDown's general manager, Shawn Michaels, dancing his way to ringside with his classic Sexy Boy theme song. He grabs a microphone and begins to speak. Did you guys see WrestleMania? Damn, what a show. Almost makes me jealous that I wasn't a part of it. But what it is, what it is. SmackDown did great as well at the event. Sheamus is Mr. Money in the Bank. The Divas stole the show and will be here tonight. And Christian retained his World Heavyweight Championship against Dolph Ziggler. No, in fairness to the few of you who weren't at the MetLife Stadium, shame on you, by the way. You should always go to WrestleMania, damn it. We will be having a WrestleMania rematch tonight in our main event. Christian puts his heavyweight title on the line against Ziggler for one last time. No more excuses. No more mischances. It's do or die for both these guys. Now, excuse me, we have a great show to get to the Ray, and he does air quotes. I have many important GM duties to attend to. As Shawn goes to leave, however, unfamiliar music hits, and out comes FCW star Derek Bateman. Derek Bateman, he's not, he was on that one season of NXT. I believe that happened around before the save started, or maybe it was during, I can't remember. And as he does this, pretty much the crowd, they would know who Derek Bateman is, not too well, but somewhat decently. And Bateman has a microphone in his hands, and he says, I don't mean to interrupt our great general manager tonight, so I'll make this short and sweet, really quick. Everybody in attendance, you're lucky, because you're looking at the new top 1% of SmackDown. And he does the generic EC3 pose he does nowadays, as Shawn Michaels is kind of like, a new guy. That's cool, I guess. I guess I book him now. Just kind of like, neat. And so there's that. And we have a decent match. Sheamus kind of squashing poor Heath Slater with a Celtic Cross in 8 minutes, 43 seconds. Mr. Money in the Bank showcasing on the first match post-Mania, which he takes his briefcase and he holds it up high. He celebrates in the ring with it, clearly making a statement that, Sheamus, when he's ready, is going to cash in that title. Of course, you would cash it in. But, being the Celtic Warrior, he's gonna leave a lot of broken bodies in his wake. So if I were Christian, or Dolph Ziggler, should he win tonight, whoever wins the title should probably be worried about, Sheamus. We cut to commercial and we cut back. The Titantron is doing that, that draft pick thing they used to do with the music, like the and the draft pick lasts on Kevin Nash. A pretty surprised draft pick. Kevin Nash has been drafted from Raw to SmackDown. The big man makes his way to the ring, exciting the crowd. Maybe he too sweets some marks in the thing. He does like the thing that him and Scott used to do, because there's like some fat dudes in NWO shirts. He's like, yeah, and the fat dude's like, yeah. I would know, I'm a fat dude in an NWO shirt. And Nash, he gets a microphone and he says, SmackDown has just gotten too sweet. In the theme of Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger, both men with mics in their hands, they cut off Kevin Nash and they're standing on the ramp and they slowly walk to the ring as they talk, with Rio going, Kevin Nash, I didn't know the old folks home was viable for the draft. With Jack Swagger going, yeah, I don't get a graphic, but the has-been from 1997 gets one. Give us a break. Jack Swagger clearly also being drafted from Raw to SmackDown, so another little pop there, clearly making the audience get it. Kevin Nash still goes, it's called being over, kid. You really need to learn about it. Jack Swagger says, laugh all you want, Kev. Me and Del Rio, we're not the only ones in the back who are unhappy about part-timers like you getting special treatment. But while we're out here, why don't we teach an old dog new tricks? And then they rush Kevin Nash. They've gotten pretty close to ringside now. Kevin Nash, he takes some fists, some kicks. Maybe he hits Del Rio with a big boot, but he's no match for the numbers game. And Jack Swagger takes him out. He puts him in the ankle lock. Del Rio probably tries to do that arm breaker thing he used to do. Maybe he does like the mushroom stomp thing to Kevin Nash. Swagger probably hits him with the Gut-Wrench power bomb. It's a massacre. And poor Kevin Nash, SmackDown's newest acquisition, is shown laying down, taken out by the bad guys. What a sad thing to see, especially to an old guy, an old timer. A pretty good one of that too at Kevin Nash. And we have a match. We have a decent little match between Insane and the Hart Dynasty versus Kurt Hawkins, Kurt Axel, and the Motor City Machine Guns. Sami Zayn hits a brain buster on Kurt Hawkins for the win for the team. And yeah, they did pretty alright. Kind of hoped it would do like a B range, but you can't expect everything. But yeah, no, pretty good match overall still. And next, Goldust comes out. He has a scheduled match to come to. But Ryback sprints from the back and absolutely Keith Lee-like pounces him off the stage. Poor Goldust just goes flying, just right off the fucking stage. And then Ryback proceeds to destroy his life. He just hits him with lefts and rights, clothesline, lariat, scoop slam, power slam. He probably ends it off with a shell shock. Officials have, 20 zebras, as JR would say, have to hold Ryback back. Waka waka, see what I did there? As Goldust is just lying in a pool of blood. He's just unconscious. And Ryback clearly angry that he lost his streak. We have to wonder, was Goldust just a random attack he pulled, or does he have his sights set on the Intercontinental Championship? Who knows? We then have a decent little match between another SmackDown draft pick and Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder having been drafted from Raw. He beats Mark Henry with a quick cradle, getting a flash pinfall over the big man, who looks shocked as he does. And what a good way to debut on SmackDown. You got to give it to Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo. You indeed know it. AJ Lee then comes out with her title. She walks to the ring, all happy and whatnot. She cuts a promo, pretty generic one, that's why I didn't write it in, She proved to the world that the Divas title matters. Her and 3 opponents stole the show at WrestleMania. Showed them all what women's wrestling is all about. She uses the term women. The crowd gasps. I thought they were divas. But then she's cut off me by Natalya and Madison Lane, who come out. And they march to the ring and look like they're going to put a world of hurting on AJ Lee. But Natalya, as halfway down the ramp, just turns around and just clotheslines Madison Lane and starts beating her down. AJ Lee's clearly taken aback, that's not how I thought that would go. But decides to be a good champion. She sprints after Natalya, drives her off, saving Madison Lane from another beatdown at the hands of Natalya. What a way to end to that segment. Natalya clearly upset. She not only did she lose her match at WrestleMania, but she was the one pinned in that triple threat. So maybe that frustration's boiling over in the Hart Dungeon graduate. But now, we have the main event. It's Ziggler and Christian. Ziggler and Christian for one last time for the World Heavyweight title. It's pretty much kind of like, not a rip-off of their match at WrestleMania, but very closely similar. Dolph Ziggler, pounces on Christian every chance he gets. Ziggler's very meticulous. That one mistake mentality has really taken him over. So Ziggler's making sure that anytime Christian gets some offense in, it's by luck of Christian and not by a mistake he made. But Christian, near the end, looks to have the match won, when all of a sudden, Christian, we don't see the camera, what he's looking at. But Christian turns his head, confused, as if he sees something on the ramp. Ziggler sees this, reminiscent. This is what happened to him at the match. Ziggler runs in, zigzag, 1, 2, 3. Ziggler is your new World Heavyweight Champion, catching him off a surprise match. Oh my God. Dolph Ziggler's done it. He did what he couldn't do at WrestleMania. He hit the zigzag 1, 2, 3. But what was exactly that caught Christian's eye? Dolph Ziggler holds his new championship up when all of a sudden rap music begins to play on the speakers. Dolph Ziggler turns and John Cena is standing on the ramp. As he did, that was who was standing on there. He's wearing a hoodie and black jorts. You know, that's what Christian was looking at. He immediately rushes the ring, and as soon as he gets in, just blasts Christian with a massive clothesline. Christian had just gotten to his feet, and he turns to Ziggler, and Ziggler looks at the situation. Cena looks like he's going to mainly try and beat up Christian some more, but Ziggler, to his credit, he tries to save Christian, but Cena just picks him up, flattens him with an AA. Cena then hits 2 AAs on each member of the ring, both Cena and... Not Cena, dang it, I can't talk. Ziggler and Christian. Then he hits another set and another set. By the time SmackDown begins to fade to black, John Cena is just standing in the ring, rage on his face, 2 broken bodies beneath him, the World Heavyweight Champion and the former World Heavyweight Champion. A message has clearly been sent. John Cena is coming for the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, yes, no, let's do this real quick. Yeah, that shouldn't be average. That's probably the best gimmick John's ever had. And in a terrible post-show match to let the crowd kind of go home happy, Derek Bateman defeats Titus O'Neil in 4 minutes with a TKO, because why not? We end the show, 93A, increased to 19 regions. Really, 19? I thought it was more than that. I mean, what can you say? We have a new World Heavyweight Champion, but at the same time, John Cena has just decimated both of them. We thought John Cena was fired from the company. Of course he was fired from Raw, but knowing that, why would Shawn Michaels sign someone like John Cena, this just new unleashed dark side of him? We don't even know why he's doing this. Why would John even be able to be on the show, let alone anything? Well, we'll just have to see, you know, a bunch of different storylines heading. We're only now officially 2 weeks away. In 2 weeks, we have our next pay-per-view event, Extreme Rules. So we'll have to see how that all goes.